Hey guys, I'm Rewind Mike, and this time I'm back to review one of the best retro style games to come out in a very long time. It's Shovel Knight. Now, it's like the company Yacht Club Games listened to what everyone had to say about bad platforming games and worked upon it. Thus, Shovel Knight was thrusted upon the world. Now, with his mission and his trusty pointy shovel, he sets off to save what may be left of his most righteous partner in crime. Now, I really wish for the life of me that I would have funded the Kickstarter, but I had no idea about this game until I saw the completionist playing this on his Twitch back in April, and I immediately had to pick the game up right after seeing him play it. The game just looks so fresh. I like the mechanics of the game when I was watching him play it, and the music was definitely one of the key points of me picking that game up. Now, do you like to explore every nook and cranny? Are you someone who likes to collect everything in the game? Looking for a new power-up? Shovel Knight has got you covered. This game has something for everyone. For the casual gamer, there's a ton of fun and easy gameplay mechanics and that you will just absolutely love. And for the speedrunner, this game is set up to be beat in one run. You just have to look for those certain patterns. There's also a ton of gold and weapons and power-ups to find for everybody out there, like the completionists. Now, I really hope you guys enjoy this review. I've been working on it for quite some time, and we're just going to jump right into this. The story for Shovel Knight isn't anything too special, but what matters is there is one present. It's your typical love story. Shovel Knight and Shield Knight are two legendary adventurers who like to spend most of their time seeking hidden dungeons and helping people who are in need of assistance. They were the best of the best and always up for a good time. The two adventurers' time was cut short though when they arrived at the Tower of Fate. Shield Knight picked up a cursed amulet that let loose a terrible dark magic over the land. Shortly after, Shovel Knight awakes outside the tower, but it was sealed shut and Shield Knight was gone. A broken man, Shovel Knight goes into a deep state of grieving and lays his arms to rest. With these two champions out of the way, the evil magic was able to plague the land and seize power over the other adventurers. The Enchantress, holder of the magic, decides to round all of them up and form the Order of No Quarter. Now that the Tower of Fate is unsealed and there is some activity going on, it's time for Shovel Knight to take down the evil inside, with hopes to let his soul be at ease as well as his friends. But the Black Knight informs you that he won't hear any of this. He tells you to turn around and abandon your quest. The Enchantress conquered the valley and has posted her Order of No Quarter between you and the tower. And then a fight breaks out between the two. Now, after beating the Black Knight, he runs away, and Shovel Knight takes rest for the first evening of his quest has come to an end. When playing Shovel Knight, you'll notice that the controls are tighter than Spidey's suit on a fat guy. You have a simple slashing attack, but no matter how simple it is, it can be the most effective. You also have a downward thrust, just like Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales, and this is used to navigate a lot of the harder parts, so get good at it quick. The game is punishing, and no matter how tight the controls are, the traps and puzzles can be troublesome. There is an infinite amount of continues and checkpoints throughout the stages, so the game isn't too hard, but it is a really good 2D platformer, and you'll have a ton of fun playing it. Navigating the map is a cinch, but plays a crucial role in the game. The design is very similar to Super Mario Bros. 3, even down to the enemies appearing on the map. When passing over these enemies, you get pulled into a battle type stage. Sometimes it's a bonus stage where you can collect a ton of gems to buy things. On top of all that, there are a few mini-bosses you will encounter while traveling across the map. Now these battles are special and unique. In one of the random encounters, you fight someone named Baz, who is trying his hardest to become a knight in the Order of No Quarter, but they will not accept him into the fold, despite his efforts and all the gear that he has bought. So Baz believes if he beats Shovel Knight and takes his title, he would become part of the Order. We can clearly see he is a member of the Belmont clan, sporting a whip like the Vampire Killer, but also using it to swing around the map. The tower in the back even makes it seem like Dracula's castle, and is a really nice touch. Too bad for Baz though, because it's a horrible night to have a curse and he will not be besting me today. Once you beat him, he pouts on the ground like a child. If you give him a whack, he cries tears of jewels, you pick him up and you leave the fight. North from Pridemore, west at the Fork. Oh bother. Now, what would you say the next few words would be? I must have got lost. Would make the most sense, right? Nope. They missed the opportunity for a good rhyme here. In this battle, you have to fight a confused and lost kid named Rise. He is searching for a knight with a shovel that has been menacing his village, swearing he will take you down for what you, the Black Knight, has done. The battle is on. Wielding 2 giant boomerangs, jumping around and dive kicking, and a fireball shield are his methods of attacking. And for the final map boss encounter, you come across a mystical fighter, a magical fighter. It's Phantom Striker. And the only reason he challenges you is because he can, and so he does. He uses lightning as his power. Charging up his sword with it, he shoots waves at you. He also uses it to teleport around, but when doing so, he shoots several balls of lightning at you. It's nothing too crazy though. You defeat him, and just as quick as he came is just as fast as he leaves, and he bids you a farewell. Now, as you can already tell, Shovel Knight has an array of sub-weapons at his disposal. Each sub-weapon uses a certain amount of magic points as well, and I'll get to the point of that in a little bit. Now the thing that separates this element from Castlevania is you can select these items in-game anytime you want. All you have to do is press the start button. Yeah! Now there are so many I don't know where to start, so I will just name the 2 I find most useful. You get a Chaos Sphere that stays on the screen and bounces around the area, so for a good part of the bosses this will really help with dealing out damage. Now, that weapon's opposite is a Flare Wand that shoots fireballs straight and flies off the screen, but for most of the flying bosses this can really help a lot as its consumption rate isn't high. Now, on top of all the sub-weapons, there are also a ton of power-ups you can collect for your chivalrous knight, which contains 6 extra health orbs that are obtained through means of collecting meal tickets and bringing them to the gastronomer in town, which in turn he is more than happy to cook you a meal. You also get 7 magic potions, which increase the overall amount of magic points you have to 100. Another cool piece of gear you can change is your armor. There are 6 different suits you can buy, each having a different ability. My favorite is the Final Guard armor, which has a really nice red shine to it, but when wearing this, if you die for any reason in the game, you will only drop half as much gold. Now for the later part of the game when you're trying to stack gold for the more expensive items and such, this can get really annoying as the game's difficulty does get harder. Now, altogether there are about 12 stages in Shovel Knight. Each stage in the game is a wondrous thing and crafted with the most detail. They went all out and everything just seems to fit the theme that they wanted to capture, and the stages flow beautifully. I mean, I really don't know what to say. I've played so many retro style games in the past couple of years and I've never quite seen this much love or detail put into stage design like I do on Shovel Knight. Now, this is a spoiler alert, so I'm going to be talking about some of the endgame stuff, so if you don't want to see any of that or hear any of it, I'm going to put a little annotation in the video, and you can click to that. Not only are there 12 stages throughout the game, but on 10 of those stages is another knight, or boss figure, and most stages will also have a mini-boss on them too. The knights each have different attacks and powers, but none of which you can obtain. After defeating every boss, Shovel Knight will go light a fire and rest his wounds, but sometimes when this happens, it will trigger a dream sequence. In that dream sequence, Shield Knight is falling from the sky and Shovel Knight has to catch her while fighting off a barrage of bad guys. If you succeed, when you wake up, you will wake up to a chest with a meal ticket waiting for you. Each stage represents the opposing knight you will have to do battle with. In Pridemore Keep you will fight the marvelous King Knight, who resides in a castle right at the start of the game, and just like him, his castle is fabulous. Next up is Spectre Knight. He is located in the Lich Yard, which is very suiting for him considering it is the representation of death in the game. Now, wielding a giant scythe, he pretty much throws it around and he teleports, and then he tries to catch, the scythe after he throws it. After we take down Spectre Knight, we head over to the Explodatorium for a round with Plague Knight. This stage is pretty much a giant lab for Plague Knight to conduct his work and concoct new potions, so get ready for an alchemic throwdown. Heading towards the sea, it's time to pay Treasure Knight a visit, aboard his iron whale vessel. Something must have happened here, because half of the ship is filled with water and sea life. Upon surfacing, you smell the fires of the lost city burning, and you go to investigate. Finding out it's the lair of Mole Knight. He is buried deep underground, right near the volcano, and surprised you made it this far down with your shovel. This stage to me is the best music in the game, and like much of the game, it's nostalgic and I just enjoy the pacing of it. Making your rounds, we see a giant flying machine, and there is only one knight that can be here. Propeller Knight. This stage is all sorts of tough, boasting some pretty tricky areas where you have to use the wind to make it across gaps, but watch out for those ceiling spikes, because they will get you. Inside of Clockwork Tower, working on a new mech is the tiny but dangerous Tinker Knight. With all his crazy contraptions and moving parts, it's no wonder he is towards the end of the game. And finally, we stop at the ice caps to visit the stranded ship, which is home to one of our old pals, Polar Knight, the Viking. This stage is slippery and full of traps, so watch your step. And that was Shovel Knight. So what did you guys think of it? You want to leave me some feedback in the comment section? Let me know. That would be awesome. Now, as far as I know, this game is only available on the Wii U and the PC at the time of this video's release. But from what I've heard, it's supposed to be on the PS3, the PS4, and the PlayStation Vita within the next couple of months, maybe. And from what I've heard on that, is actually they're supposed to add Kratos into the game. Now, I'm not too sure if he's going to be a playable character or if he's going to be one of the bosses. Either way, I think that's totally friggin' cool. A little upset they didn't do anything special for the Wii U like that, but what are you gonna get, right? There's always updates and stuff like that they can do later on down the road. Now, I know it's been a while since I put out a video, and I really do apologize about that. As you can see in my change of scenery, I've really moved my whole house around. There's been a lot of construction going on, so I really haven't had time to make videos because I haven't had anywhere to set up my computer or any of my hardware, honestly, so it made it really hard, but here I am right now, coming back, bouncing back at you with a really great review. Like I said, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And when you think of Sega Genesis, what's the first game that comes to mind? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I'm Rewind Mike. You have a great day.